let them eat cake. What can we learn from this famous saying? G'day and welcome to Small Steps Through Life. Today we're at Battle Hill and the weather, it's wet, and that's okay. I can't do much about it, so I am enjoying a walk in the bush. And I'm looking at the idea of that statement, let them eat cake. Marie Antoinette said it, and it did not end well for her, because it turned out the population weren't interested so much in cake, they needed food. They didn't have bread. They were starving. And they got pushed to the point of rebellion. And I think of that teeter point between got enough and not enough as the Antoinette line. Drop below the line and things go badly. Rebellion is a probable outcome. But it's not just in big things like kings and food. It can also be in things like business. If you want to keep your customer, if your service drops below the Antoinette line, they're going to do something and you're not probably going to like it. You want to keep them, stay above the Antoinette line. If you want them to be happy, see how far above the line you can go and stay in business. There is that idea of profit, needing to make a living. But dropping below the Antoinette line means you won't have a living because you won't have customers. You get to choose this. So choose wisely. But it's not just in business. As I said, it was a matter of kings, but also government. If people can't put food on their table, if they're unemployed and there are no jobs, they're going to get pushed towards the Antoinette line and potentially drop below it. At that point, bad things happen, and when enough people drop below the Antoinette line, we're likely to see a rebellion of some kind, major civil dissatisfaction. But it's not just in the big picture things. It impacts our personal relationships. If you're in a relationship and it drops below the Antoinette line, then the likely outcome is the relationship will become somewhat unpleasant and is likely to dissolve. Where you get a situation that it's cheaper to leave than to stay, where the mental cost of staying is dearer than leaving, you've dropped below the Antoinette line. So what do? In business, you want to know what the Antoinette line is and make sure you stay above it, visibly above it, so people don't think we're getting close. Because remember, each person will perceive that line differently. So if you want your customers to stay, try to consider them and what the line looks like for them and keep above it. If you're a government and you want your populace to stay civil, consider, can they put food on the table? Can they put a roof over their head? It's one thing to say that they don't want to work, but if there is no work, they're not going to say, I can't find work, there is no work, but that's okay, I'm happy to starve. Nobody thinks that way. Well, predominantly nobody thinks that way, and if nobody thinks that way, the likelihood is that if they are starving and there's nothing they can do about it, they are likely to become unruly. It's something that governments need to stay above, the Antoinette line. And in personal relationships, the further above the Antoinette line you stay, the happier the relationship will be, the more robust. It'll mean that mistakes won't mysteriously drop you below it. It will be more forgiving, more accommodating. And the further up you go, the more you can experiment with new ideas. So, the other thing about the Antoinette line is recognise the Antoinette lines that you can't change. If you can't change it, recognise it. Is there something that you can do to help offset it? If you're starving, maybe it's to grow a garden. Or maybe it's to look for other work. And whatever you do, once you've worked out all the things you can do, don't focus on it. Put it aside. Focus on doing things that you can make a difference on. That moves you from a inaction despair to a owning your life hope. May not be much hope, but every time you take action, you're giving yourself the opportunity to do something, to make a change, to own your life. And so, make your life amazing. And on that note, I'm going to say, see you later.